Same thing with the setup for 185. Triple arrow, enter, no, enter, no, enter, no. And now 185, enter, no, no, enter, no, enter, enter, enter. And now line up the console. The start position, enter, cast on, ABC, stitch pattern A, enter, SX, and then back is gonna be GX. Okay, empty row. And drop off my yarn here. Racking handle down. Dip needles. Empty row. Dip needles on the back. 2 colors. Stitch size, same. Orange strippers. Front, LX, and back, whatever. I don't have solid stripes here for this pattern, so that means I'm going to do a correction. So I'm going to hit correct. 2120. Row counter is 80. Return negative 80 rows, which means knit 80 rows. Okay, thanks. Enter. Wait. Stitch pattern A. Enter. SX, GX. That's what we left it on. SX and GX. Empty row. Check stitches. And again, let me check stitches, but it didn't do this. I changed it to row counter 80. So let's see about this. Empty row. Very strange that it didn't yeah, so I'm gonna do another correction and see if it still does the same thing. So I think I've confused the console somehow. Well, it looks like it's going to knit the next row correctly, so we're just going to roll with it. And it's only a test pattern, doesn't matter. But I'm just showing you also if you weren't doing a test, what you would do. Well, I'm just going to go with it. Empty row. Stitch size. Same. Racking handle down. Strip orange LX. And N on the back. And I'm going to turn the arrows off. So row count 80. So we're going to go to 160 here because there's 2 passes per color per line. So 4 row counter per line. So I've reset the row counter on the lock. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up my first color. And knit. Okay, I'm going to set my motor up again. Come on, motor. One time. Okay, the motor's also getting confused because it will not stop on the right side. I have it go one time. I hit the directional arrow, the double side, the end stop, the ending. Okay, it stopped that time. So it looks like we have encountered a little computer problem. That could be because too much memory being used. Maybe I need to turn it off and restart this program again. Very odd. That's the camera. pusher, sweetie. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. Same process. And this I have a solid row on front. Just one color, the background color, so I'm not going to do a correction to change the row counter. Sweetie, we don't play with the pushers, okay? Triple arrow, enter, no, enter, no, enter, no. Stitch technique, 186. No, no, enter, no, enter, 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 and then start position. Enter, ABC, stitch pattern A, enter, SX, GX. Row empty. I'm going to drop my yarn, not pick up the next one. One row, racking handle down as usual. Check needles. Empty row. Needles. And no pushers and no arrows on the back. 2 colors, stitch size, same. Orange strippers. And then KX on the front. And on the back, and pick up the first color. Okay, and 80 rows. I think I might actually want to do black strippers on this. Sorry, blue strippers. All these tucks. When I'm doing all these tucks, the blue strippers work better with this particular yarn, I think. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop it. Okay, good. Now I'm going to move on to the next one. Triple arrow, enter for program, no to erase, cast none, enter, all stitch patterns no, stitch pattern A1151, enter, alter no, knit technique, it says 186. We are going to go to 187. Get in there. Enlarge position no, test no, all enter, form no, 2120, start, cast on enter, start position, line it up, enter, cast on, hit ABC, stitch pattern A, enter, okay, SX, GX, like usual. Okay, empty row. So notice here, I am in the middle of the pattern because the pushers are not all straight lines. So I will be doing a correction on this one. Even though it's not necessarily obvious that this is the stop, the blank lines in between the patterns. It's the wrong color, but it's also not obvious, like, because you can't see multiple colors. Okay, so either way, empty row. Racking handle down, needles, empty row. Okay, needles, pushers. We're gonna scroll through all this, and so now I can hit correct. No, 2120, row counter. I'm gonna do 80. Return negative 80 rows, knit 80 up. Sure thing. Wait. Stitch pattern A, enter SX, GX. That's what we left it on. Empty row. Check stitches. This is most likely right. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's nothing here, nothing there, there, nothing there. Empty row. Stitch size, same. Racking handle down, orange strippers. I'm using blue because I'm doing tucks with this thicker yarn. So LX on the front, AX on the back with both arrows. Okay. And this also is an alternating pattern, up, down, up, down, up, down. And that's what we've left it on. So we had it on for 182, 184, and now 187. So that pattern is actually going to be what we're going to have unless we go do pin tucks. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pick up my yarn. I'm going to put the motor on. I'm going to program a stop. So I'm going to program a stop. I'm going to do 80 rows. I'm going to hit the plain button. This is the Electra 4600 for the motor. So I'm hit the empty button and then minus. And it says countdown. I'm going to do 80. Enter. Stop. 0. Yes. Repeat. 0. Doesn't matter. I just pressed enter. Row counter 80. It goes back to that. So then it's ready to knit. So resetting the counter on my lock. And I am starting. This thing still wants to go to the color changer. Didn't recognize that I went because the console can't tell. So I'm having it start going left because I already picked up the yarn for this. And we're gonna go. There we go. And we're ready for the next one. Triple arrow, program, enter, erase no, cast on enter, all no, stitch pattern A, enter, alter no, new technique. That was 187, and we're going 188. Enlarge position no. Test no, all enter, form no, left 21, right 20, start cast on enter, start position, line it up, cast on, ABC key, stitch pattern A, enter, SXGX, empty row, drop off the yarn. Marking handle down, needles, empty row, needles, pushers. So this is also an alternating pattern, so I don't have to put it back up. 2 colors, stitch size, same. Orange I'm going to use blue because these are tucks with the stick yarn. LX on the front. FX on the back. With left arrow. Row counter 0. I'm also going to program a stop. So solid button, negative, countdown 80. I'm going to acknowledge that. Enter, stop once, sure. Repeat once. Row counter at 0. Okay. And here we go. There we go, another 80 rows. So we are going to go move on to the next technique. So I'm going to hit triple arrow, enter for program, no for erase, enter to cast on, all stitch patterns no, stitch pattern A, same as whatever you chose, enter, alter no, knit technique, okay, it says 189 is that's what we were doing, and now 190. So 190, enter, enlarge position, no, test, no, all, enter, form, no, left 21, right 20, start, cast on, enter, start position, line it up, to enter, cast on, hit ABC, stitch pattern A, enter, SX, and GX on the back, empty row, so I'm dropping off my yarn. Okay, racking handle down, check needles, empty row, check needles on the back, check pushers on the back, so 190. We are also going to be in alternating formation, so we won't have to do any changes there. Hit enter. 2 colors, stitch size, and we choose the same. Orange strippers, I'm going to use blue. There's tucks, and this is thicker yarn. I'm going to use blue. LX on the front, and N on the back. So I am not doing a correction because I have finished. I'm at the start of the pattern again, so I am just going to continue on from the beginning. Okay, it was N. Row counter is 0. So let's pick up our yarn. I'm going to reset my row counter on my lock, and the row counter is 0 here. I'm going to set a stop for the 4600, hit the solid button, and then minus, countdown 80. You would either put 80 if you hadn't put it in there before. It's there for me. I'm pressing enter, stop 1, repeat 1. I'm just going to leave it like that. Row counter 0. Okay, I'm going to do a few rows before I turn the motor on to make sure this is knitting okay. Okay, on this one, it's beeping it to tell me AX. It's not telling me to change the color. You also have to change the color at this point. And change to AX. And there are no arrows on this. So make sure the arrow button's off. Okay, 2 rows. N, change color. 2 rows. AX, and change color. I'm going to put my motor on. Start my motor. Okay, that looks good. Go. N. AX. And just keep going. Okay. And move on to the next one. So I hit the triple arrow, enter program, no for race, enter for cast on 2, all no, stitch pattern A1151, alter no, knit technique. It says 190, and we are going to move on to 191. Enlarge position, no, test, no, all, yes, form, no, left 21, right 20, start, cast on, enter, start position, off the motor, line it up, enter, cast on, hit ABC instead, stitch pattern A, enter SX and GX. Empty row. I'm dropping off my yarn and not picking up the next one. One row. Racking handle down again. Check needles. They're all up. Empty row. Check needles. Check pushers. So it'll also be alternating. And that's what we have. It doesn't matter which side. If the first one's up or down, it doesn't matter at all. 2 colors. So get your color on. Stitch size, same, 525, 475. Orange strippers. This is tucks, thick yarn. I'm going to use blue. So I'm also going to correct the row count. So I'm not going to set up the, I'm going to leave the lock on SX and GX right now. I'm going to skip this. Okay, so I am going to hit correct. And left 21, right 20, and the row count. This also has 4 passes per motif row, so it's also going to be 80. So row count 80. Return negative 80, so magically knit 80 rows, sure. Wait. Stitch pattern A, enter SX, GX, and empty row. Check our stitches, and this again, this should match the pattern. Center, 2, 2, 1. There you go. Empty row. Stitch size, same. 2 colors, racking handle down. Blue strippers instead of, it says orange, I'm going to do blue. LX. Now I'm going to switch the locks. LX, and then AX, and this has arrows on the left only. So I have the left arrow on for AX. Okay. And it's going to want us to start knitting. I am resetting the row counter on the front as 0, and the row counter on the console is 80. I am going to also program another stop for my motor, solid then minus, and just enter, 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 and then knit a few rows with the yarn, make sure it's knitting okay, and then switch to the motor. Okay, we have reached the end of that. And the next technique is the Fair Isle with pink pin tucks. So what this does is it repeats on the front bed, mostly on the front bed, and also on the back stitches here, the motif color. So if you've seen the model books, if you look through them, there's this one rather matchy over the top outfit that is a whole bunch of carrots that the woman is wearing. It's one of the later books. How it gets puffy is with these pin tucks. Now I think this yarn I just think is a little too thick to do these pin tucks, so I'm going to skip that today. But you'd set it up similar to another one of these we did, where you have to bring some of the pushers on the end of the other color into work, because of this one's only doing the background color here, and so we had to bring the edge pushers up, and so here they put them up for that diagram. But it's basically the same deal, where you need to have it anchored. Okay, so think that is all of the double bed techniques I'm going to do for 2 color here. So I am going to do a few rows to seal this off, and then do a bind off. So I'm just going to do CX and CX. I'm going to go back to my background color. I am going to do, I'm just going to do stitch size 5 1/4, 7 and 4 7/5, just like I have right now. So CX on the back. And then I'm going to do a row of NN. Okay, I'm putting the lock on GX, front and back, moving the edge springs out of the way, moving the lock to the left after dropping off the yarn.